Yeah. So that's what made me think, like, I don't know. Either way, I know that, it's a possibility for, these attachments to be sent away. I've gotten close to, even just like if you, almost less than a week ago, to these spirits being sent away. I was able to, like, somehow I'm able to cast them out or push them away, further away from me, through certain music. And if I put it like close to my ear or something like that and turn it up loud just for a little bit, because too long would be cause damage, somehow it like casts them away. Or when you use, so that's one way. That was recent. I just figured this out like a week ago or something. And then less than a week ago, I had an experience with them. But I had an experience where they were almost about to be cast out or something. Like they were about to be leaving from me. And it was going to be a victory for me. But it didn't complete. It started, but it didn't complete. And it sounded like they were leaving. It sounded like they were leaving. Anyways, yeah, just wanting things to, this to happen, this to go away. I actually have a deck of tarot cards because I'm trying to do like a tarot reading channel or something. That's a whole nother thing. But so it's like 78 cards. And I don't have the money to get the cards myself. So I'm starting out with just writing it on the cards, buying like, some index cards or whatever. Well, I actually had to cut mine out, but I wrote it out in just like a black marker. 70 out of 78 cards. And I'm also looking on, yesterday, I was looking on a site for, how to figure this out and how to learn it, you know what I mean? And as I'm doing that, I could hear that they were like vanishing or like being pushed away and pushed out as I'm on the internet, as I'm on the, and looking up all this information, reading up on it and stuff. When I started the cards, it did more, like it started pushing them away more, almost like what happened 3 or 4 days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. And it started, anyways, it's probably different than that, because this started like pushing them away. I laid out my cards because I want them to dry, so that when they dry, then they don't smear, So I had them laid out, like, okay, I'm gonna lay them out. So they're laid out on the floor, and they started vanishing, and their voice getting slowed, and they were like, we're disappearing. I'm just like, what is this? I thought it was like because of the stuff on the internet, the stuff that I'm reading, learning about and stuff like that, but it wasn't. It was the cards. So it's something very interesting about that. Maybe because and then this morning it happened again. Okay. I think because somehow it's like breaking the spell or something like that. Breaking the spell work, because it's spell work that was sent. Okay. Yeah, it's spell work that was sent. Because I believe that if God sent the Reaper or the Reapers, or demonic spirits or something like that to you because it's your time to go, that's not spell work. Okay? That's not going to be reversed or changed unless he decides to do that. And that is not spell work. How people are able to do this, is beyond me. I don't know. But when I go back to, saying how if we are in a certain energy or what have you, not just in general as people, but I'm just saying as believers, or maybe even just as in general. It's common sense. If you're in a certain type of energy, you're arguing, you're fussing, you're fighting, you see somebody yelling and getting irate and tiring, and you can see that they're kind of like out of control with it, that they don't have self-control. Maybe that's just the way that they are. You're opening yourself up to different things, okay? And especially if you stay there, you live there, you're camping out there and everything. Oh yeah, no. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for different things to be brought to you, or for you to have these type of challenges and stuff. So that's one way that I can see how something like this is possible. How people are able to do this. Send an attachment to you, but you'd have to be, open to, understanding something like that anyway, but yeah. So anyway, it's just a lot. I've been through so much, and I'm still going through a lot. But that was just interesting. Yesterday, and actually, 4 or 5 days ago was interesting too. But this was really something here, because it really taught me something. I watched this movie called The 13 Ghosts, and it's one of the things in there why I mention it is because sometimes it was a haunted house and made of glass. Everything in there, and something about this guy who left his nephew some money, but it was a trick. He was trying to get the soul of someone that was of good standard, or like a pure soul or something like that. I don't know, but it was a trick. And anyways, the glass house, it had spells written on the walls, written on these glass walls in a certain room. I don't know if it was the attic, or if it was at the top of the house, or it was some area in the house where there's certain rooms in there or something, and it's all glass. But on the glass was these spell words, and then it looked like different language or something like that. And you can see it, all through the house, all through that area. You can see those glasses, and you can see the spell word written on it, and all of that. And it was because this uncle, but of course that wasn't told to the nephew, right? It was because this uncle would take souls or something like that, okay? And the certain spells protected you from certain spirits. Okay, so called The 13 Ghosts, this movie. It's not that scary. I don't like scary movies, but this movie is not really that scary. It had maybe some scary to certain people. I wouldn't advise for like under 13 or something like that. I don't know. It depends. Some kids are listening, but I don't know. But it's not that scary. I want to say that. It's not about blood, and stuff like that, and knives, and or even gun violence. Something, I don't know what's going on. I have to think about it. Like in the beginning, it's talking about all this, but yeah, it was a trip because they had to take the glass, certain of those. They had to literally pick it up and trying to get away from these spirits, because it would protect them from the message on there, the spell or whatever. I don't know, whatever the words were. It protected them from those spirits. So, but anyways, yeah, that was really something. These people were fading. These spirits with this deity, these deities, whatever, these spirits were vanishing, and like weakening too. You could tell that they were being weakened. yesterday as these cards were being laid out. And, I didn't know anything about any of this stuff. I don't have any intentions with any of this stuff, because I don't practice any of this thing, And we thought that it was going to be the opposite. We thought it was going to be me,